Hi, this is Morris May. My father is the author of The North Korean Threat and Chinese Foreign Politics with North Korea. In this book, there are secrets both the Chinese and North Korean governments don't want people to know. He doesn't want too many people to know his real name, so he uses his pen name, Peking for the book. My father is a naturalized U.S. citizen born in Hong Kong. He has relatives, both civilian and military officials in Communist China during the Cold War era. During his childhood, he was a frequent visitor to mainland China, and he witnessed how the Chinese prepared to engage in battle against America at the time. In his childhood, he was afraid that a Third World War would begin between the Communist Pact and the free world. Hundreds of millions of lives would be lost in a nuclear war. He is the youngest sibling in his family. He has 5 older siblings. His oldest sister is 22 years older than him. His oldest brother is 18 years older than him. One of his sisters married a high-ranking government official. Both of his older brothers are famous professional athletes. For his family dynamics, he knows about military and political issues since he was very little. When he was in grammar school, he wrote a professional essay about politics. His teachers thought the essay was not written by him, but was copied from a magazine or newspaper. His knowledge of politics and military is more advanced than most adults. Because of his older siblings are successful in society and his age is much younger than them, they treated him like a little kid. His father passed away when he was little. In the family that he grew up with, the older siblings took charge of his family, not my grandmother. In Hong Kong, during the British colonial leadership, the education system was terrible. Not enough colleges in Hong Kong. High school graduates is the highest education most people expected in Hong Kong. Of course, he believed he had other options. He immigrated to America and went to college in New York, Brooklyn. Years later, he became an engineer. When he was young, he found that Asian people have very little knowledge of America and Western Europe. They believed that governments in the free world were imperialist foreign invaders. They want to destroy Eastern Asia and conquer the lands. After he became an adult, he found that in America, the people have no knowledge of Eastern Asia, especially mainland China. Even after the end of the Cold War, there are still many people who believe that China wants to spread communism and conquer the world. But he found that it is not true. There is a huge misunderstanding between both sides. My mother is American-born Caucasian woman. To describe my father in 3 words, it would be bilingual, multinational, and multicultural. My father works in the aviation industry as an engineer for the past 30 years. For job-related reasons, he had to meet American civilians and military officials. He found that even high-ranking military officials know surprisingly little about Eastern Asia. One day, an Air Force general talked about North Korea will begin a full-scale war against South Korea and America, heavily backed by the Chinese military, igniting World War III. My father does not agree with this opinion, and stated an argument with an Air Force general. Although he won the argument, he believes the people in the free world should know the truth about today's China. That is the purpose and motivation of this book. One of the most influential people from his childhood is Sun Tzu. He was the author of a famous book, The Art of War. One of his best quotes is, "Winning every battle is not the best idea. The best idea is to not have a battle and make your opponent step back." The Chinese government thinks the same thing. Unlike in the Cold War era, modern China is not a true communist government anymore. They are capitalist, much like South Korea and Japan. It is just a lot bigger and more populated. They are not interested in starting a bloody war against a superpower like America. What they want is to sell their products so that Chinese people can prosper and have jobs and money. Also, they want advanced technology from America and Europe. If they are not getting advanced technology, they could either steal or develop it on their own. Everything that the Japanese and South Koreans do, they can do at a bigger scale. This is done without war, but they can be a formidable business competitor.